So we're gonna do a stretch class today. So if you have a mat, maybe a blanket and 2 blocks. If you don't have props, you can just support yourself however feels best during this practice. And we'll start on our backs. So coming onto your back, you can keep your feet on the floor with bent knees, or maybe you extend your legs, maybe a cushion underneath your head. Your hands can rest on your belly, or perhaps you let them come down by your side. You can close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Just taking a few breaths here, bringing yourself into awareness, connecting with your breath and your body. Maybe scanning your body and noticing if there are any areas that are speaking to you today. You gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, rolling your wrists and your ankles. On an inhale, let your arms reach up and overhead, taking a whole body stretch, reaching your fingers and your toes away from each other. And on an exhale, gently drawing your right knee into your chest. You can hold your shin or your thigh. You can press through your left heel. Really gently switch sides, hugging your left leg in, let your right leg go long. Nice deep breath. And then gently bringing both knees into your chest and rocking a little bit side to side. You can turn your head a little from side to side. And then planting your feet on the floor, hip distance apart. Let your hands come by your side, flowing our bridge. So as you inhale, press into your feet and lift your hips. As you exhale, gently lower your hips. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, lowering down. Finding your range of motion as we're still warming up the body. Knees are tracking forward and slightly together. One more time. And gently lowering down. Stepping your feet mat distance or maybe a little bit wider. Gently start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Really come back to neutral. Your feet hip distance apart. You can bring your hands to your belly and start to lift your legs so that your thighs come over your hips or your knees stack over your hips. Start to feel your belly engage here. Try to still relax through your neck and your face. Your hands can gently rest on your thighs and really focus on the intention of engaging your belly, low back pressing into the floor, belly strong as you continue to breathe here. And then either hug your knees into your chest or place your feet on the floor, constructive rest. Let your belly relax. Find softness. And then option to repeat what we just did. Stacking the knees over the hips, feeling that core engaged, staying here. Or maybe your arms extend up to the sky as if you were in table facing the ceiling. You can stay here in this strong engagement or add a little bit of movement. As you inhale, let your right leg and your left arm extend. And as you exhale, bring them back. Inhale, left leg and right arm. Exhale to center. So alternating, moving with your breath. And again, maybe only extending out as far as you can, maintaining your low back contact with the floor. Do one more time on each side, or if you've needed to take a break because your back was feeling a little strained, then gently either hugging your knees into your chest or planting your feet on the floor, constructive rest. Let your hips shift a little bit over to the right. Let your knees come over to the left. Your arms can open in a T position. Your gaze up at the sky or looking over your right shoulder. Couple breaths here. Gently bring yourself back to center. Shift your hips a little to the left. Let your knees fall over to the right. And breathe into your twist. Then take your left hand and reach it around so it comes over to the right side. Gently press yourself up, coming on to all fours. So if you need a little extra cushion, you can take your blanket and maybe open it out to support your knees. And come on to all fours. Just for a moment, maybe sway your hips a little bit side to side, circle them. We're going to come back to child's pose. So your knees can stay hip distance or you can open them up mat distance, toes towards each other. Sit your hips towards your heels. Maybe walk your hands out if your forehead comes to the floor, or maybe you take a block and let your forehead rest on a block. Your arms might also feel more comfortable coming back by your heels. So make this work for you. Child's pose is meant to be restful. So feel your hips sinking back, your fingers reaching away. Then gently pressing yourself back up onto all fours. Coming into a forward fold, you might like the assistance of your blocks. So you can rise up a little bit, push one foot forward and then the other. And keep a bend in the knees. Allow yourself to fold over the legs. Keeping your spine long, relaxing your head. Deep bend in the knees. Inhale as you rise back up. And exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. We'll find our mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart, standing nice and tall. And really feel yourself rooting through your feet. Standing tall, opening up the chest, crown of the head reaching. You can close your eyes. And inhale, let your arms reach out and overhead. And exhale, take a fold. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. And exhaling, hands to heart. And we're going to come open up sideways on your mat. And you can have your blocks center so that they're accessible for you. We open up our feet nice and wide. So if you reach your arms out, your ankles are relatively underneath your wrists, if that feels stable for you. And then lower your arms. Take a nice inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips. Stop halfway. So your hands come to your hips or your thighs. You have a nice flat back, nose points down. Opening up through the collarbone. Stay here. Or maybe your hands come down to your blocks. You can adjust the height of your blocks. Or your hands might come to the floor. Keeping your spine long, so you're folding from the hips, not rounding your spine. Then to release, inhale, lift up halfway. Maybe soften your knees. Exhale, reach your arms wide, engage your belly and your legs. Inhale as you stand all the way back up. And exhale your hands to your heart. Let your toes turn in slightly towards each other. And let your left toes turn open. Hands come to the hips. We can start to bend and extend that left leg. If you need a little bit more space, heel toe your right foot wider. Just finding that range of motion, letting the knee stop when it comes over the ankle. And then sink into it. Breathe here. If it feels more comfortable for you to continue to flow, feel free to do that. Otherwise, holding here, evenness through both feet. Your knee is tracking over your second toe, feeling that stability in the leg. Your arms might reach out, palms down, chest is lifted. So feel the rooting through the feet, feel the lifting of the torso. You might look over your left fingertips. We'll come into triangle pose. So we're going to straighten our left leg. Let your right hand come to your hip. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, your hips shift back as you reach forward over your left leg. And then let that arm come down. It might be on your thigh. It might be on your shin. You might have taken one of your blocks with you and just gently pressing into that block. So you're opening up your chest and belly. Maybe your top arm reaches to the sky, or it stays on your hip or wraps behind you. Still actively pressing through both feet. Your gaze can be looking straight, it can be looking up, or maybe you're looking down at your toe, wherever your neck feels comfortable. Then top hand to the hip. Inhale as you release back up to center. Let your toes turn back to center. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, releasing down. We'll do the other side. So if you liked using the block, maybe moving it with you. Your toes turn in slightly. And now your right toes and leg turn out. Hands can start on the hips as they start to bend and extend that leg. Coming in and out of those warrior two legs. Your shoulders stay over your hips, so we're not leaning into it. And then if it's comfortable, we hold. Checking in, so knee over the ankle, tracking in the same direction as that second toe. Maybe we reach the arms out. Feel that opening. Find a comfortable gaze and feel the breath. we come into triangle. So straightening that right leg, left hand to the hip, inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips, reaching it. Let the arm come down, again, to the thigh, to the shin, to the block. Top hand to the hip, to the sky, wrapping behind the back. So exploring a little bit and then finding stillness in the posture. Getting comfortable, noticing where you feel those sensations. Top hand to the hip. Inhale as you come back up. Turn your toes forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, hands to heart. Hands can come back to your hips. You can heel toe your feet in a little bit closer. So wider than hip distance, but not as wide as they were. Inhale, let your arms reach up. Exhale, let your hands come behind you, either to the small of your back or interlace your fingers. Lift your heart to the sky. Breathing here, so pressing through your feet. Feel yourself grounded but opening. And then stay here or soften through your knees and allow yourself to hinge forward. Crown of the head comes towards the floor. Knuckles can lift up, or if your hands are on your back, elbows are pressing towards each other. Then using the strength in your legs and your belly and maybe your arms, lift yourself back up and release. Release your shoulders. And we'll come into tree pose. So grounding through your feet. If you want, make sure you can come close to a wall if you want that support. And we stand up nice and tall. We shift our weight to one side and we open up the hip. Kickstand. So feel the hip opening, feel the rooting through the foot, the reaching through the crown. Stay here. Your foot might slide to your calf, or you might assist your foot to your inner thigh, finding your balance. And if your tree falls over, just try again. Keep your branches low, bring them to the heart. Or maybe you extend your arms overhead. Nice deep breaths here. And then gently release it. Shake it out, stomp it out, what feels good. And we switch sides. So grounding through the feet, shifting your weight as you open up your hip. Take your time as you find your tree, wherever that is for you. Low branches or bringing them to heart or reaching them overhead. Exhale, gently release and shake it out. And we'll come down to a seated position. So maybe sitting up on a blanket or a block, sitting up nice and tall, letting your shoulders relax back and down, stacking over your hips. And take a couple of breaths here. Let your arms open wide. And as you exhale, come into a twist. Bring your left hand to your right thigh and your right hand behind you. And as you inhale, continue to grow taller. And as you exhale, twist. And inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, twisting to the other side. Right hand to left thigh, left hand behind you. Inhale and exhale, twist. Gently come back to center. Let your legs extend out in front of you. So make sure that you're propped up so that we're not collapsing. We're sitting up nice and tall. Feet are flexed, hands by our side. And this may be strong enough for some of us, or we might start to walk it forward, leading with the heart, hinging from the hips. Resist the urge to round and collapse forward. So maybe you don't go as far as you think you should, but go where you are supposed to be. Nice deep breaths. And as you breathe, maybe you find a little bit more space. On an inhale, lifting up. On an exhale, maybe taking it a little bit deeper. And gently walk it up. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into cobbler. So you can hold on to your ankles or your toes. If your knees are high, use your blocks, any height, to support the knees so they have a place to rest. You can stay nice and tall, or on an exhale, perhaps you start to lean forward. Again, from the hips, keeping the chest small open. Nice deep breaths. Gently coming up, let your hands come outside of your legs to bring them together. You can move your blocks out of the way, coming back onto our backs. So slowly, you can roll it down, or you can roll to one side and lay yourself down, coming onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest and gently rock from side to side. Placing the feet on the floor, we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh and flex the foot, drawing the knee away. Maybe your right hand even gently presses the thigh away. Taking a few breaths here, staying here, or maybe your hand comes around your left thigh or your left shin, not forcing it, so you can place the foot back down. That felt like too much. Trying to keep your head and shoulders relaxed on the floor. And then maybe a gentle swaying from side to side, seeing if that changes your sensation a bit. And then holding there, finding the stillness, settling into the pose. And then we gently release. Place your left foot back on the floor, release your right foot to the floor, and we change sides. So left ankle to the right thigh, flex the foot, gently press the knee away. Stay here, or your hands might come around your right thigh or shin as you breathe into this stretch. And gently release it, planting both feet on the floor. Once again, taking a whole body stretch, arms and legs reaching away from each other. And as you exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. And then allow it to come across the body as you come into a twist. Your right arm can reach out. You can look up or over your right shoulder. Then gently come back to center, hugging your right knee in. And switch sides. So inhale, whole body stretch, arms and legs stretch away from each other. Exhale, your left knee comes in. And on an exhale, come into that twist, allowing that knee to come across the body, opening up. And returning to center, hugging your left knee in. And then gently drawing both knees in. Any last stretch or posture, rocking side to side. And we get ready for Shavasana. So using whatever props to make you comfortable. Take a folded blanket maybe to support the head. Your feet can be on the floor with bent knees. You can bring your feet back into that cobbler position. Or you might extend your legs and extend your arms by your side. Just getting comfortable, whatever that means for you. And taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. And letting go of the breath. Feel your body relaxing. And don't engage with the thoughts that float through. Just watch them passively float by. As you have nowhere to be and nothing to do. And if you have the time, staying here for as long as you like, preferably 10 minutes. And if you need to continue with your day, gently bringing small movements back into the body. As you wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. Your arms overhead. Or your knees into your chest. You can roll to one side, take a couple breaths there. And gently pressing yourself up once again to a comfortable seat. Let your chin drop to your chest and slowly roll it along the collarbone. And we bring the head to neutral. We bring the hands to the heart, connecting with the breath, soaking up these last few moments. As you notice how you feel, you carry that with you. You thank yourself for coming. Take a nice deep breath in as you reach the arms overhead and press the palms to touch. Lowering to the forehead, reminding ourselves to think kind thoughts, to the lips to speak kind words, and to our hearts to always guide our actions. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.